welcome back to my channel Joy and Knife. Today I'm going to show you how to make this very interesting, really cute notebooks, small notebooks or pockets. So let me show you this. We all get a lot of those small boxes from the products that we get or samples that we get, especially like if you order from Sephora, sometimes you get their samples. If you put in the coupon code, you can get a sample. And those boxes, like, I really like them because they're so cute and I don't want to throw them out. Yes, I have a problem. And yet I can use them. So what do I do with them? So the other day, I don't know why I came up with this really cute idea that I'm going to make a booklet out of it. So this one, I have a piece of string here. And what I did was really simple. I basically, those are the tea dye paper that I have used for making junk journaling. And they are scraps because, sometimes you have to cut them to size and stuff. So what I did was I just stapled them together, put washi tape on top, and then attach it to this box. So I'll show you how to make it. And I reinforce the side with some washi tape so that it won't break as easily. And I put in a string there so then I can tie them together. So this is the closure for the booklet. And this is another one. I'm sure that you are really familiar with this box because, I don't know, I see a lot of samples for the Core Professional, and personally, I really like the product. And so what I did was there was a place where they put the little tube there and I stick it together. So then I get this little pocket for my little tags. And then I put some, again, tea dye paper here. Same idea. And then now I have this. And, we can always use those. You can use them when you go to the grocery store, maybe, for your shopping list or for your ideas. Sometimes we get ideas, and I know we use our phone a lot. I know, but I just love writing. I love paper. I love cute stuff. Okay, and here is a Coach pockets. So what I have here are some tags and a small booklet that I made with scrap paper and cover. You can tell it's from scrap because I still have a piece of other scrap here that got stuck into it. So this is really cute as well. So today I'm going to make this with you with these 3 boxes that I find. Cute, right? So let's get started. So it's really, really easy to do. What you have to do is to open it first. And what you have to do is just to cut those off on top and cut the flaps off from the bottom. What you need for this project is just glue, washi tape, scissors, and some scrap paper. That's all, and stapler. That's all. So let me cut this with you here. And it takes only minutes to make. It's not complicated at all. It's really, really easy to do. But I really like the outcome of it because it's so cute. Especially, like, look at this. I really like this box. I really like I chose this sample because I like the box, honestly. So I don't want to throw it out. I want to make some use of it. So usually one of the sides is where they stick 2 flaps together, and there is the opening. And you want to open it really, really carefully because you will need them later on. At least one of them if you're not using both of them. So depending on what you make, like this one, I use the inside flap as part of the crochet as well. So you will see. Okay, so here, doesn't look good, right? And that is why we need the washi tape to cover it up. But it's not bad, not bad. Okay. So you can either simply like do things like this, One choice will be like cutting this off, and it's just like opening the book. That's all. Or if you want it to be, a bigger book like this, then what you can do, I mean, a thicker book, that what you can do is to make something like this. So let me make something like this with you. Okay. So first we have to measure the scrap paper to size. Because we are doing this, so what we need is like the measurement of this plus the back, right? So you want it to be thrown in half. Like this is not bad, right? The size is still not too small for this one. So what I'll do is I'll just like measure it like this, and then I'll cut it. I am assuming that this can be cut into 2 piles, and then we can still use the rest for either another project or for this one. So let's do some measuring. Okay, so that is another thing that you need. A ruler. So this one is 1.5 inch, because you don't want it to be all the way to the side. If it is all the way here, then when you close it, and when you have like such thick stack of paper, some of them may be like out a little bit more, then you won't have enough space. So you measure it roughly, but leave some space here. So 1.5. So altogether, I need 3 inches. So here I'll just measure 3 inches, which is just right here. And what I do, usually I use like a paper trimmer to trim it off, but I'm afraid that if you don't have it, I want to show you that you can still make this. So this is the line, right? And after you measure it, make sure you side your ruler with this side. So this is a straight line, and you want to make sure the entire stack is together. So let me redo it. Make sure they are stacked together really well. Measure it 3 inches right here, and then put your ruler right here. I will recommend like a metal ruler because you won't cut into it. All right, so what you need is just a pair of scissors and cut through it, or you can use your utility knife and the pad. So I'm just assuming that like if you don't have anything, you have only like scissors and rulers, like really basic materials, you can still do this. So all right, so let me just cut it. Okay. Now, when you are almost done, you don't need the ruler anymore because you can just follow this, like follow the straight line. Okay, so you can always like trim it. That may be like needed, but it doesn't really matter. We are just having fun here, right? Okay, so after you do that, you can throw it in half and expect that some paper will be out a little bit, and that is normal because of the thickness of this. And usually when I use tea dye paper, I like the older looking one to be on top. That's just me. So what you can do now is just to put it here. So there are a couple of ways for you to put it here. Usually what I do is I use my old to make some holes, and then I use my string to attach it. It's like a book binding kind of thing. But if you don't want to do that, that is fine as well. Just staple it together and then put it in here. So let me show you how to do it. I feel like I may need a lot more paper in order to do this, because this is so thick, but I'll just show you how to do it for one stack, one signature, and then you can design your own. Okay, so you simply use a stapler, stay stable in the middle of it. Okay, perfect. And throw it again, reinforce the crease. If you want to use a bone folder, you can. I'm just using my fingernails here. And then what you need to do is simply to attach this here. So what I recommend you doing is like either you can actually like staple it onto this, but I don't want to just because what if I want to change it up to have something else, or after I use this stack of paper, can I change it to something else? So what I'm going to do, and which I don't have here, I'll be right back. This is probably another thing that you need to get, but you can find like anything like ribbons or whatever that you have at home. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut a piece of it. Yes, it's not exactly like this one because I just feel like this may give you more use of your booklet that you made. So here, before I go further, I want to make sure I cut really well on this because when we put those like little booklets in our purse, we don't want to give it a chance to ruin our edges, right? So I'll just cut it right across. It is really hard before you open it. So the first cut may not be the best, or learn from me. Don't do it like I do. Just open it first. That will be easier. Okay. So what I'll do is really, really easy. It's just you have the string on the outside, tie a knot, or even like a bow, whatever you want to do with it. Just leave a little bit space. Don't be way too tight because we need to fit the paper in there. So, yep, just like that. Easy enough, right? If we wear sneakers, we know how to tie the bow. So it's easy enough. Okay, so here you go. You get some pages in here. And because this is so thick, you can actually fit a couple of these signatures in here. And so let me measure to see if this one is 3 inches. If yes, we can simply use this one. Oh, it actually is. Perfect. So let me make another signature with you. Again, remember what we do? Throw it in half. And then you get the crease here, and it will be really easy for you to see it. And then you can simply use your stapler, staple it, staple it again. Here you go. All right. So we enforce the crease. You can use a ruler, actually. That may be easier. And oops, it seems like there are some color on my thing. It doesn't really matter. We are not going for perfection. We are just having fun here. Okay, cut another piece of string. I don't really measure it because I feel like I can always cut it to size later on. I make it like a little bit longer than I thought I would need. Okay, so the same thing, going to the inside and then tie it. And you can even use the elastic ones because that may be even easier for you to put the book in, but it doesn't really matter. I mean, put the signature in. Okay, so here, look how cute is that? You got a miniature book. So now, and because I love mixed media, sometimes I like, even for this kind of booklet, I intend to use it for mixed media. I may add some crafting stuff in there. So I don't want to, make 3 signatures and make it too tight. So like that will be a little bit too much. Okay, now let me show you how to close it, because it will be super annoying if it keep opening, right? One thing that you can do is like to put a Velcro strip here, and then, you can just do it like that. But I like to tie it more because it looks fancier, I guess. I don't know. I just like it better. Okay, so first of all, because we are keeping those flaps, we do not want it to show because it's so ugly. So what I'm going to use some washi tapes. And when you use some washi tapes, I just lied again. I think you may need another supply, but it's not a must. Like you can use your glue, but I'm going to use the glue stick just because washi tapes may not adhere to it really, really well. So if you run it through the glue stick, it may be a little bit stronger. And sometimes I use the glue depending on what I have at hand, but I have this just right in front of me. That's why I'm using it. Okay. So what I do is simply to cover it up. It doesn't really matter if the bottom shows because, you know, it is fine. Again, we are not looking for perfection here. And who knows, it's not the designer of the washi tape, right? How do you know? It may be. So it doesn't really matter. Okay. So, and then the other side is here. And again, like this also serve as the reinforcement for, sorry, reinforcement for the page. I mean, for the flap. So because we are going to tie it, there will be, you know, some kind of pulling here and there. So we want to reinforce it anyway. Okay. Now, this washi tape is a little bit too big for this flap. So what we need to do is to cut it to size. So just go around it really easy. And just cut around it. I hope you are having a good day. You know, I know that a lot of us are being impatient in this pandemic, and yeah, it is a very interesting time. But I guess what we can do is just to make the most of every day, right? So doing this kind of crafting may be a little bit soothing for you. Maybe it's a good way to spend our time a little bit. Okay, so here we got the washi tape there. Let me just clean this edge up a little bit. Okay. And what you can do is just to make a hold here and then put the string in there. So you can just use an awl and, you know, just have it there, or you can use like a hole puncher. It's totally up to you. So what I'll use, yeah, I know, but this is not a must, so it doesn't count. You do not have to have this. You can simply close it in other ways, right? I know I'm making up excuses here. All right. So, you know, do it in the middle of it. Do it in the middle of it. You are not, you know, putting a string through the hole, so it doesn't really matter as long as like they are somewhat matched around that range. That will be fine. So here, what I'm going to do is I find like almost eyeballing it, half point here. I don't want it to be too out there because it may break the page. So I will just put it here. Okay. And I measure it. Okay, it's around here. So I'll just poke a hole here as well. Okay. All right. Okay, I've decided that it may be easier to not use the needle and simply poke a bigger hole in here and then just tie it that way. All right, let's try this. Because I feel like the hole there is actually smaller than this hole. Yes. Yes, what am I thinking? Okay, so here. Just double knot it tight. And here you go. You got one that can go on this side. And then here's the other one. You can simply put it through here instead of the needles. Big mistake, right? I don't know why I thought of the needles. Anyway, okay, things happen. Again, double knot it. And usually, like this one, because this thread will be in the inside, you want it to be going through the back. And let me see. No, through the front. It doesn't really matter. Okay. And then you can tie it here. And just like that. is done. And you get a little booklet. I know I'm not hiding it really well. So let me redo it off camera later on, and then you will see the end product like really well at the end. But anyway, that's another trick that I want to show you, and that is when you are making it like you can change the side, like you can change the signatures here. Because the string can be movable, right? And it will slide back and forth, like. And one thing that you can do, I don't want to do this yet, but I may later on, is to indent this a little bit. So then there will be almost like a hole in here for it to sit on. And so it won't move around as much. I've done it for the other book that I made yesterday. And I don't know why I don't want to do it for this one yet. I'll see how it works. But, you know, this is what I plan to do. So, okay. So here. Especially like after a while, after you use it for a while, it will be easier, just like this one, because it's trained. The paper can be trained to go one way or the other. And so, you know, after you use it for a while, then it will stay in place and it will be much easier for you to use it. Okay. If you feel like this is like too much for you, like if you plan to really use it outdoor and do it like put it some like in your purse and bring it everywhere, then I would recommend, instead of using a string, use an elastic. Like you can get really colorful ones at the Dollar Tree. And then what you can do is just to tie it up, like it will be much easier. So that is another option. So this is book one. And as you can see, like it tends to want to open. So you just reinforce it. And so it's better, right? So always like reinforce all of those, because, you know, when it was a box, it doesn't have to be reinforced that much. They just glue it together basically. But anyway, like this is book one. And let me show you the other one that I made yesterday actually. It's much bigger. It's not the miniature like this, but I really like it. This is the Little Prince. If you've been on my channel for a while, you know I love the Little Prince. And this is the one that I said I did some indenting here, so then it will sit in place. So what I did was, like, this was like originally a box for some merchandise. I don't really remember what it was for at all. I think it's for a watch, maybe. I don't know. Don't quote me on this. So so I simply cut the bottom, the front, and here as well, and then I just open it. I put the Little Prince wrapping paper on here, as you can see, and I put part, like this is part of the box as well. So I glue it back in here, so then I can tuck something in here. This is what I made with a old book page. I use some backing here, so then I can journal in here. So just put it back in. And then with the signatures, I didn't want to, you know, I want to have a lot of writing space for this one, because I feel like this will be what I use for my business plan and stuff, like ideas and stuff. So I put 3 different notebooks in here. And those are some notebooks that I got like years ago that I haven't used. And I feel like this is special. I really want to use them. So I use a nicer one. But you can always get those books, like little books like this at the Dollar Tree. This is like $1 for 3 packs. So it's really, really inexpensive. And then you can make your own traveler's journal or something with it. Okay, here on to the next project. So again, the design is good. I don't want to waste it. I don't, and it's not environmental friendly if you just throw things out. So what I do is I'm going to cut this. And then cut the bottom as well. See, I don't learn from my own mistake. I told you guys you should open it first, right, before you cut. And yeah, I forgot. No big deal. We can always cut it a little bit more later. Okay. So again, try to find where they have the openings. So it is here. So open it really, really carefully. This is one thing that you don't want to mess up. But even if you do, that's no big deal because you can always make like the book that I made yesterday, right? It doesn't really have a closure. It's just like that. So that is okay too. So here, as you can see, same thing. What you can do, you can use, again, string to put things together, or you can simply like use some pages. And what I plan to do for this one is I'm going to staple it together really easily and then put washi tape on there to cover the staples because you don't want to see them, make it look nicer, and then simply just close it. I haven't decided on the closure yet. I'll make the book first and see what I want to do. So I'm back with more scraps. Since it seems like this will fit, let me try. I'm thinking maybe I'll just make a booklet like this. And then I can just use those pages. Yeah, it seems like it will fit, right? So let me just do it. So what you need is, because this time you want the paper to be just the size of the back. That is like this you will cut out. And so this is the back of the booklet. So what you need is to measure it. It seems like it will fit, right? And then you can simply use this as the guide to cut it, but you don't want it to be all the way down, right? And so what you can do is to slide this down a little bit so that it will have some space here, and so that it will give you some space on top and at the bottom when you glue it down. So let's try this. So remember, like some of the boxes, this may not be straight. I don't know if it was not straight or I didn't cut it straight. Probably it was me. Anyway, it doesn't matter because we can cut it straight now with the paper. Okay, now it's straight. So what you need to do is to move it up a little bit. And then now, it doesn't seem like it's that straight anyway. So you can trim it again if you feel like it's not straight to your taste. Right, we can always trim it. Okay, that looks more like it. Then what we can do is to cut more pages because, there are a lot of space in this book, I feel like. So I want to cut at least once more. Or twice. Let's just do more pages in here and see if it will fit. If it doesn't, then we can just take them out, right? Okay, so let's see how it fits in here. Yeah, it will fit, right? But the pages may be a little bit too long if we do too many of them. So let me see. Let's see if I do that much to see if it will fit better. No, still the same thing. It's pretty much like just this paper is a tiny bit too long for that. So what I'll do is I'm going to, make sure that it's lined on one side. And then what I'll do is really, really simple this time. Just simply staple the top. It doesn't really matter if like this is cooked. It's not perfect, but because we are going to cover it up with washi tapes, so it will be fine. So we remember we line this up this way, right? So here there may be some unevenness because those paper were used for other things before. So you can just trim it a little bit. If you really want to go for perfection, I want you to use your utility knife and a ruler. And in that way, you'll make sure that it is straight, it is okay. But for me, I feel like I'm just having fun here. I don't want to, like, I just want to eyeball it. If I cannot see it now, I probably cannot see it when I'm using it, right? And especially like, you know, it's supposed to be a fun project. I don't want to think too much about it. Okay, so here, this is what you are getting later on. So one thing that we want to do is, you can see, you know, here, because it was a box, it tend to like want to close, right? You don't want that. So you may want to use some washi tape to reinforce it, make it a little bit thicker. Or if you want, you can even use some duct tape. But I don't I don't like the texture of it. Especially it doesn't go with the design of this box, I feel like. So what I'm trying to do is simply run this through the glue stick, and then I will first tape it down so then you won't see the whites, because when we tear it open we see the whites, right? So that will be like one thing I want to cover, but I also want to reinforce it. So I'm going to put the second one there, overlapping it a little bit so that it will go to the other side as well. So it will keep it more open. So it's really a good way to use up the useless so-called boxes and your washi tapes. Okay, so see how cute is that? All right. And on this side, the same thing on here, right? But I want to cut this first. You can even like if you really like want to have this, you may want to glue it here, just the three sides, and use it as a tab, so you can put another thing here. I may or may not do it, not yet anyway, for the time's sake. I don't want to hold you here forever, so let's try. So here again, this is where we want it to stay as one page instead of two, and that is why we want to put the washi tape here. And you won't be able to see it much anyway. Like for this one, you don't, like, it doesn't really matter. So here's just a little tiny bit still that's not cut. Okay. And now what you want to do is to again run through the washi tape. And then just put it on here. And usually I'll make it a little bit longer so that it will go to the back. So in that way, when I'm opening the pages, I'm opening like this. So it will be like, or if you don't want it to be so low, because when you're opening the page, maybe you want it to be like a bigger page, then the other way of doing it is just to put it up a little bit more. Both ways are fine. You know, I do different things with different books, so it doesn't really matter. So simply you just throw it to the back, but you don't want it to be, you want it to be even on both sides. So let's see here. It may be better for you to eyeball it from the back, because on the fronts, if you it's harder to see, but here you see the edges, so you know where it's going. Okay, and so simply just like this. Yay! Then you get your pages for that. And what I do is I just use some strong glue to put it there. Okay. Sometimes I want it to be like even stronger. Then what I'll do is I will do the entire page. But I feel like this is good enough for this project. So I just put it on the top. And then make sure you are not putting it wrong, because you have to look at the fronts. I made this mistake before, so trust me. This is the front, right? So you want it to be here. want it to be here. Leave some space on the top. Tiny bit is fine, and leave some space at the bottom. Just let it glue down a little bit more, and then here you go. How cute is that? But I want to crease it a little bit more. Usually what I do is I use a paper clip or use some kind of clip to clip it together. So after a day or two, it will stay close. It won't be like bouncing off like now you see, right? So I'm going to take some pictures for you to add to this video at the end. So you will see, after a few days what it will look like. And this one as well, you need to trim the paper in some way so that it won't like keep wanting to be opened. But this one is a little bit better than before already, right? With the tie and everything. So it will get to that state like this one's. Okay, so it seems like it's really messy here. So let me clean up just a tiny bit. For this one, I don't need any more paper, and this one is really easy to make. And this time I will remember to cut it open, but then I'm not opening this. So what am I doing? I'm actually making a pocket out of this. So sometimes you see these kind of boxes. They're really narrow. You cannot really make a notebook out of it. What can you do? You can still use them if you like the design, right? You can still use them. And I made my own junk journals, and I decorate them with different things. And if you don't know what junk journals are, they're really cool because you make them out of junk, so-called. So you use like cereal box, you use like anything to beautify it and then make it work. So like for this one, for example, what you can actually do is to probably just make a pocket out of it. Like how cute is that? Right? And then you can put some tags in here. So for example, I had some tags from here. Let me just grab them. This one maybe is a little bit smaller. So there you go. That can be used in this side. Yes. So it can be just put in a notebook. It can be put in anywhere, basically. Let me find the right size. Like for example, if I want to journal on this, and then I can just not this one, it doesn't fit, but you get the idea, right? You get the idea. So I find some narrower ones. So if I want to, for example, journal on this, and I just put it in and put a couple more in to just decorate it, you can do that as well. So this one, then you can show both of them, right? So this is really cute. But how can I close the bottom? It's really, really easy. But I want you to trim the paper first before you glue it down. So you just do it like this a little bit, okay? And then use your fingernails to make it a little bit more straight. So see, now it's not likely to like open all the way anymore. So what you need to do is simply use some really strong glue and make sure there's still glue in it. And then just glue it down the bottom. You don't need a lot, especially because you're not putting like heavy stuff in there. It's just paper, right? So just that much is fine. And then you just close it. And of course, clean the excess glue. And then here you go. That is done. This is the quickest. This is like the easiest because it's a pocket. It's not a booklet. So again, what I'll do is I'm going to use a paper clip or some kind of clip to clip it down with this one. So then I can trim the paper to stay the way they are. Or, if I'm lazy enough, I can just like tuck it to the side of some other boxes with other things in there. That will work too. But actually, no, just kidding. I do have a clip here. So here you go. I hope you like this video. If you like this kind of content, if you like video like this, please do subscribe to my channel and click the bell so then you will get notification when I upload my next video, please like and subscribe and share with your friends. So then that will give me more motivation to make more videos like this. So here you go. 1 project, 2 projects, and 3. All right, I'll see you next time with a less messy desk. Bye now. Have a good day. Thank you for